could see Mark calculating, like, I've got to get off these wet weather tyres. This is not the tyre to be on. And it was so premeditated. He had completely planned what he was going to do, how he was going to do it. Apparently 7 minutes prior, he's basically saying to his chief mechanic, make sure the bike's got the dry weather tyres on in the pit box because I might decide to go here. And of course, because everyone's watching what Mark does and his reading of the conditions, as soon as Mark decided he was leaving the grid, there was this fantastic shot of Pecco Bagnaia on row 2, a bit further back than he normally would be, and he's not looking at anything else as the time's ticking down before the start of the race. He's looking directly to his right and he's looking at Mark. And he's like, if Mark goes, I go. And it was one of those things that Mark triggered all of the craziness that followed by standing beside his bike, not sitting on it, which is the biggest tell at the end of the day when you look at these replays. You can see he's planning on doing something. And then once he was out of there, it was just complete chaos. And Marquez knew if more than 10 bikes leave the grid, then it can trigger an abortive start. And so once he went, it was just how many of these guys are going to follow him. And what was interesting was that if you look at the riders that did follow Marquez into the pits and the ones that didn't, the ones that did were all the ones that were closest to him on the grid because they could see what he was doing. It was mostly the riders down the back that did not. And so there's this mass stampede off the grid.